Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to my channel. Today, I want to talk about the Grammys. I love watching all of these different characters, choose your fighter, come to this world stage and perform these things for us small peasants, right? Like Bianca Censori, give Dobby a sock, petition to give Dobby a sock. This woman is never allowed to wear an article of clothing. Kanye West is always parading Bianca Censori around like an accessory, a nude accessory. And it took me seeing a comment saying, well, the photographers didn't have to take a picture of her. No one should have taken a picture of her. For me to realize that not only is that extremely true, but if all of the cameras said, okay, wait, first of all, I just want to talk a little bit about like kids in public spaces and how I really don't think it's cool to like not get consent from people before you're like really naked in front of them. Like, you know, if Blue Ivy is there, you can assume there's other kids there. Not to say it's an event for kids, but it's definitely not 18 plus. And it does bother me when there's also a difference between topless and bottomless, right? And sometimes I'm like, oh, is my Catholic upbringing shining through even though I feel liberated from religion, and am I just accidentally really a prude? Because some people are trying to like justify it like, oh, I think it would have been better if she had a bush. Are you okay? And that is sort of a comment on the ecosystem of like Hollywood and abuse and exploitation, and the fact that like the photographers, apparently one of them said, you know, I don't know if I should be shooting this, but I don't want to lose my job. So it's the fact that like safety, not just for Bianca, but for everyone there who didn't consent to be a part of that situation, is not considered over money, over spectacle, right? And I think, you know, I always think about what's that movie, Nope, by Jordan Peele, is a really good movie about spectacle, I think. And since I saw that movie, I kind of look for that in everything, you know. You could talk about Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively. You could talk about so many different like celebrity exploitation or abusive dynamics that become this spectacle that is very lucrative, very lucrative. And so, yeah, the cameramen could have put it down, but then they might lose their job, so they're not going to do that. Or they're not going to make as much money, so they're not going to do that, because they know that people need to see what she did, even if it's like whatever you think about the morality of it. I think we all agree it's inappropriate. And that's when I'm like, the fact that I'm saying words like inappropriate, but when you think about, why is he always the one that's fully clothed? I don't think you can see it as anything other than icky when you think about it from that. And he's always just wearing like a black outfit, and you can see in the video, it looks like he's asking her to take it off and she shakes her head no. And then he says something to her, and then she does it, and she looks completely uncomfortable in this stretched out fishnet. She doesn't seem happy or satisfied or confident or like she wants to be there. She looks scared. She literally looks terrified. And then people were saying they got kicked out. I heard that they did not get kicked out. They did leave. And it was just a spectacle. And you know that he just wants to get people talking about him. And then he went back to Twitter and said some crazy things. And then he deleted all of them. He's not okay, but I also think she is not okay. And I'm very worried because I don't know what the next step could be. And you know that he wants to always one up. Like, you've seen her wearing not a lot for a while, but this is like, it's getting gross and something that I don't want to have to be subjected to. Like, why, obviously, like, she's beautiful, but why is there a completely naked woman standing in front of all these people taking pictures of her, and her husband is always completely clothed and she shakes her head no before she does it? All of that is like not cool, in my opinion. Another thing that is not cool as the fallout of the Grammys is people being like shocked and crashing out about Billie Eilish not winning Album of the Year. Disclaimer, I love Billie Eilish, okay? I think she makes really amazing dance music, like contemporary dance music. I think some of my favorite songs of hers, some of her songs are my favorite to do contemporary dance to, because the soundscape can be really cool. However, Cowboy Carter is a historical gem. Like, that is whole lot of red in that white and blue on an election year where a felon who doesn't care about women, doesn't care about people of color, black people, wants to deport people, hires the worst type of alt-right people to defend his name, is reelected. Over a black woman also. A black woman saying whole lot of red in this white and blue is a historical stamp for where we are in time. The same cannot be said about Hit Me Hard and Soft. And also, people were pointing out, like, would that even be the second choice, or would it not be, like, Brat, Sabrina Carpenter, Short and Sweet? Like, I did listen to Sabrina Carpenter's a bit. I never listened all the way through, to be fair. Brat, I did listen all the way through a bunch of times, but Cowboy Carter, I also listened all the way through a bunch of times. Billie Eilish, there was some skips. To be honest, I can't call it a no skips. I didn't listen all the way through a bunch of times. There was like a couple songs. But I think when you're talking about Cowboy Carter, it's more about what it means to see Black Southern culture represented for the first time and accurately rewarded for the first time. And you fighting and crying about like a very young white girl who's already got a bunch of Grammys. Billie already has a bunch of Grammys, by the way. Her not winning album of the year when Beyonce has never won, and it's always been such a thing. And I think it's interesting when you're thinking about, when Kanye interrupted Taylor's speech and said, Beyonce had one of the greatest albums of all time, and how Taylor first emerged as like this country pop artist, and she was able to get these awards very quickly, and so was Billie Eilish, and Beyonce has yet to be rewarded for her Beyonce-ness in like album of the year capacity. So what are you talking about? What is there to be upset about Billie Eilish? No, and I think, like, if Billie Eilish was crying because she didn't win, that's fine. Like, you're allowed to cry at the soccer game when the people who are obviously very better than you win. Like, you're allowed to have emotions. I think it's weird that I'm seeing a lot of, like, TikTokers and people in general outrage on the internet about Billie Eilish not winning over Beyonce. And it's like, Beyonce deserved this so many times, and especially this time, that it's just like an odd hill to die on, in my opinion. And I thought the Grammys did well this year. Like, I think they got it right a lot this year. And, let's talk about Kendrick Lamar. So I think it's interesting that he said 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 plus 5, and he got five Grammys. Manifestation is real. Speaking into existence is real. Also, Drake saying, Kendrick just opened his mouth. Someone go hand him a Grammy right now. Lots of manifestations coming from that rap beef have been presented in his winning 5 awards and accepting in a Canadian tuxedo, which I think is literally hilarious. And obviously, like, quite a snide diss to Drake. It's almost like, did he know he was gonna win? And maybe he did. But the fact that the Academy awarded so greatly, I do think it's ironic because kind of like where Kendrick started coming from is like, you are the Academy boy. Like, you are the one that the Academy would like better towards Drake. And it's funny that it's been flipped on its head now. I know Drake's somewhere crying. But if there's one thing you can learn, in my opinion, from like celebrity beefs, is that it comes in cycles, and sometimes someone's up and then it flips. So now, that being said, Drake is like getting a little bit older, so is he really going to engage in a beef to this scale again? Who knows? I think Rick Ross still does, but that's Rick Ross. I think it's interesting that Kendrick got this shit off right before the Super Bowl. Also, like, he's taken the most insane victory lap we've ever seen. Now, all I can think about is that once you hit the top, you can only go down. That's what happened to Drake. So who is gonna, if it ever happens, when people say Kendrick's too real for that, no one's gonna do that to him. I think tables always seem to turn a little bit, specifically when it comes to like rap beef and celebrity drama and spectacle. And it's like, who's going to out Kendrick and do to Kendrick what Kendrick did to Drake? Because now that's the position he's in. And like, I forget what song it was I heard of his recently, of Kendrick's, where he's saying like, you know, nobody congratulated me on the Super Bowl. Everybody's, that shit got everybody wound up. That's not a direct quote, okay? But basically he's saying, you know, nobody congratulated me because everybody's scared now. And I don't think he means scared of him. Not scared of him, but just scared in general. Like, everybody's freaked out that the system got shook up so much. And because that did happen, there's an infrastructure to these things and an environment that makes it go around and around again. And it's like, who is going to be the next one to override Kendrick and overturn Kendrick? Because I think specifically the kind of energy that's in the air on the internet right now and in the zeitgeist right now, it's primed to do that. It's very primed to do that. So I don't know. I'm interested. I think he'll still rock this for a while. And I don't think it will be quick. I don't think it will be a quick thing that can happen. But I think in a few years, who knows? Who knows? I don't think it'll be Baby Keem. Like, I don't think it'll be like that close. But even though I do love Baby Keem and I think Baby Keem could do it, which is why I said that. But that wouldn't be, I hope it's not beef. I hope he just like picks his shit up and starts going crazy and actually giving us a lot of discography, trying to enunciate more. Anyway, I'm happy that he won. I'm happy that Kendrick won in a Canadian tuxedo. I think Chappell Roan slayed, and I also think Chappell Roan's the only one who, if she saw the Bianca Censori incident, might have said something. Because Chappell Roan is the only one who interacts with the paparazzi and like talks back to them in a way of like, respect me, you know? Like, remember when she did that last time? And I also really loved her speech about healthcare. Because she's doing a really good job at like humanizing the artists and standing up for artists and being like, yeah, it would have been really nice if I had healthcare when I was sick. And just that labels should take care of the people that they are working with. Otherwise, it does become exploiting. And she's really good at pointing that out. And her performance slayed. The big pony, the cowboy, like, clown fit. So queer also. Like, cowboy clownage. So queer. And a big pony. And then Pink Pony Club. Love it. Love it. Loved everything about it. She's a force to be reckoned with, to be honest. And I'm excited to see what she does, because I can see her being the kind of person to make some sort of foundation or some sort of something to protect artists and really like make change and help with the infrastructure in that system that she hates, because she clearly is not going to be complicit. And I love people that are not complicit, unlike the photographers. So those are my thoughts. Let me know what you think down below. And I love you. I will talk to you next time. Bye.